everybody, welcome back to another Schmoedown related video. That's not a very good intro, but I've made this before. I've made one who should have a documentary in the Schmoedown. I also make some speculations about the Schmoedown going into season 5, which is this season, one of the best seasons ever. So if you haven't checked out that video, why don't you check it out in my channel? Link will be in the description, if I remember, honestly. But this one, as you see in the title, who will be the next Horseman, aka John Roca and Matt Nose's faction? Now, you might have noticed that I made a poll recently on the Schmoedown Facebook page, and I will use that poll for this video. In the very end, I will see the results of the poll. I honestly have not seen the results of the poll, and I also have not seen the comment about it, so I'm interested to see what you guys have put in there. I got lots of notifications from Facebook, so I'm guessing there's a lot of stuff. But yeah, before going into that, I'm going to break down some potential future members of the Four Horsemen, or the Horsemen, or whatever they decide to call it, because we know John Roca and Matt Nose needs that faction to support them, and they are looking for people. So in this video, I will mention some different people who, like I said, might be there, and these people that I'm gonna mention is exactly the one that is in the polls on Facebook. So let's get to it right away with the first one, which I think is the most likely: Mike K.O. Kalinowski. First of all, spoiler alert, if you have not seen the Team Action versus DC Movie News match, I will be mentioning the results of that match, so I'm giving you a spoiler warning right now. But yeah, Mike Kalinowski has been having a rough season, even at the end of last year. He lost both the Ultimate Schmoedown singles and team match. He lost singles one to JTE and the team match to Above the Line with DC Movie News, of course. And then, beginning this year, he lost a triple threat number one contenders match against Rachel Cushing and JTE. He was last place. He had a horrible game in that one. And also he lost the number one contenders match again to Clark Wolf very recently. And then now DC Movie News lose to Team Action, and we know what happened at the results of that. He's pissed off, he turns heel, hashtag heel watch, calling you out, All the Belts podcast. They're the one who started out that one. And if you haven't checked out All the Belts podcast, they made one multiverse episode where Kalinowski is a heel all this time, and honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing a heel Kalinowski. And I just want to real quick justify his heel turn. It definitely makes sense for him to be a heel. He's been losing, like I said, he's been losing honestly since Ultimate Schmoedown. He haven't won a single one since. I'm missing one more thing. DC Movie News also lose to Top Dat for a number one contenders match coming to the season. So yeah, he's been having a rough like almost half a year now, so it makes sense that he's really pissed off. The league haven't been there to backing him up, and it, like I said, it justifies his heel turn. So I'll be moving on now to whether he is fit for the Horsemen. Now, this will be very odd if he does join the Horsemen, because he's a heel, and we clearly know that John Roca and Matt Nose are a face now. They've turned from heel to face. So seeing Kalinowski, if he's gonna be full-time heel, he legit cussed into us into the screen. He gives us a finger at the end of the very post conference interview, and he does leave the league, obviously. So it will be interesting if he can join with the Horsemen, with all that, him being a heel, well, the Roca and Nose being a face. But yeah, one thing that makes this very likely is because if you remember the number one contenders match between him and Clark Wolf, in the post-game interview, he did mention there's only one person who cheered him on, and that is John Roca. I forget if he mentions that during the interview, or he just mentioned one person cheered him on, or that was on the rundown, which they mentioned John Roca was the one who was cheering him on. So that is one factor that could sway Kalinowski to join the Horsemen. Another factor is, if you follow him on Twitter, he recently released a very cryptic tweet with a picture of 4 people riding on a horse, which is iconography of the Horsemen. I believe that is from The Last Crusade, Teenagers in The Last Crusade. I might be wrong, as they're riding off in the sunset in the very end. But that iconography is definitely the 4 Horsemen, and we don't know what that means. Will he be joining the 4 Horsemen? I speculate that he is, but also at the same time, at the end of the match between DC and Team Action, as he's fighting with Johnny LaQuasto, he did mention, I'm in a league of my own right now. So that will be interesting if he's going to be a loner, well, not a loner, like on his own path, just like another person who's going to be on this list right now? Or will he be actually joining the Horsemen? And once again, I believe this is very likely, especially due to the cryptic tweet and due to John Roca and Kalinowski in real life. They're really good friends. So it's very possible. The only one thing that might make this impossible to happen is Kalinowski being a heel and the others being a face. However, if he joins, it will be very interesting dynamic seeing Kalinowski and Roca and Nose having both Kalinowski being heel and them being a face, and how they deal with that inside the faction, and maybe turning Kalinowski back to face again, like somehow slowly as he's being part of the faction with the Horsemen. So that's very interesting to see. And with that, I can go on to say another person that is very close to Mike Kalinowski recently. We've seen them having a close relation ever since the end of last season, from the Schmoedown Awards, actually from the Spectacular, at one of the scenes in Spectacular. It is Brianne Chandler. Brianne Chandler has been having a interesting relationship with Kalinowski since the Spectacular, and also in the Schmoedown Awards they do hint like, oh, they're gonna be teaming up at some point, something like that. So that's very interesting. We haven't seen Brianne Chandler since in the league, aside from the free-for-all, so we don't know what she's actually gonna do with the league. Is she retired? Is she not? But another reason why she makes sense for the Horsemen is during the cryptic tweet that Mike Kalinowski sent out. If you scroll down to the comments or the replies, Brianne Chandler does reply to that, and some other people's like commenting on it, and then Brianne's like, oh, hinting possibly she might be part of the league also, Horsemen. So that is very, very interesting. Once again, if Kalinowski is part of the Horsemen, it's very likely Brianne is to join him. They might form a team, who knows. But once again, the very interesting part of this, if it happens, is Brianne is a face, Nose is a face, Roca is a face, Kalinowski clearly a heel now. If they are part of a faction and they're the new 4 horsemen or horse people, I guess, like how Bibiani mentioned it long time way back when he's still part of the faction, how will they cope with that face and heel inside a faction? We've never seen that before. 5 Club is fully face, Lion's Den is fully heel, Viper Squad is fully heel, the League was face. I don't know what gonna be happening to the League now. We all know Howling Commandos is dead, so who knows what will happen. But yeah, if Kalinowski does join, Brianne is very likely to join also. Moving on, we have one person who in the beginning of the season I would say is very, very likely to join the Horsemen. However, now not so much. Who is this and why so? This person is Jason Inman. Jason Inman, as you might know, he is the Inner Geekdom champion with 1 title defense. He beat Hector Navarro against it for the belt, and he also defended the belt against Mark Donica. Now, I know that Jason Inman is good friends with Roca, and also he's been looking for a faction, for a group that can support him, because he is Inner Geekdom champion. I am surprised no one has picked him up, not even the 5 Club, which, if the most likely 2 possibilities to pick him up is either the 5 Club or the Horsemen. At this point, I feel like it's quite, like I said, it's quite late for the Horsemen to pick him up, because I don't know when else he's gonna have. When is his next match? I don't know when else is his next singles match or team match. For Inner Geekdom, we know it's gonna be quite some time, because they're gonna be building up for the championship match. So until then, I don't know when is a good point for them to recruit Jason Inman. And Jason Inman, like I said, he's been waiting for this. Maybe Horsemen have blew their chances to pick up Jason Inman. But yeah, if most likely for Jason Inman to join a faction is definitely Horsemen 5 Club, or maybe he joined a league of his own, or maybe quite interesting, if the League faction is still opening, maybe Inman could join the League. Again, he's part of, he have a certain connection with comic book movies, so that is very interesting. But yeah, Jason Inman, possible for him to join the Horsemen. However, at this point, I feel like it's a bit late, but still very likely to happen. Next up, we have Ethan Irwin. Now, Ethan Irwin, he is a wild card in this list. I put him in the poll because he's one of the few people which I see in the top 10 rankings that does not really have a connection to anyone else in the league. He's definitely factionless. And like I said, I have no idea where he stands. He could be very interesting if he joins the Horsemen. He will I believe he's open to suggestion if Roka decide to pick him up. I don't think he's gonna reject it, but the question is, will Roka try to recruit him? He is definitely a strong player. We have seen that. He defeated Lon Harris, he defeated Yolanda Machado, I almost forget it, and he did very well in the free-for-all. So there is no doubt he will accept an option for a recruitment to Horsemen. The question is, will they recruit him? So yeah, Ethan Irwin is definitely a wild card. Next up, we have Dale the Dude. Dale the Dude, you might know him from his Schmoedown Dude Talk. Oh, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I was about to do an impression and my mind just blanked. But yeah, Dale the Dude. We all know him. Schmoedown Dude Talk. He is part of the Schmoedown community. He's even have a match against Ben Bateman, even though he lost that one. But the main reason I put him in this list is because we know that he have a connection with Roka and with the top 10 team. You saw him backing up the team top 10 in the spectacular, either in the scenes or he walked him out during the entrance. They also defended them when the iconic Andrew Guy tackled John Roka. That iconic tackle, we all know Dale the Dude rushed in and helped out and tried to clear things up. Even in the Schmoedown Live, the first Schmoedown Live when Roka was playing, Dale the Dude, as I remembered, he went up the stage at the very end to defend Roka, as there's somewhat a riot with the Patriots over there. But yeah, Dale the Dude, very likely to join the Horsemen as long as he still competes. I don't know his status right now, but we all know he have a good connection with Roka and with Nose and with top 10. So it's very likely for him to join. They're good friends. But yeah, the question is whether he'll be back in the league. We haven't seen him since. So yeah, as long as he's back in the league and doing some more matches, there's definite, very likely chance Dale the Dude will be part of the Horsemen. Now, my last person on this list is movie release dates. I'm not that high pitch, I'm sorry. But it's Scott. Movie release dates, or Scott Mans, basically. We all know we have a rivalry with John Roka, the very first rivalry, I believe, in the Schmoedown. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this rivalry dates back from movie fights. Even Schmoedown acknowledged that back in movie fights, and they have the iconic Baspin fight, the very first fight. They have a rematch. I don't think they have a third match yet, but they have a really great rivalry in the way back. And you might be asking, if they have rivalry, why would he be in this faction? Honestly, I feel like right now at this moment, they're somewhat like a frenemy. They don't have that much of a rivalry connection going on, but they're more like frenemies. They sort of hate each other, but they're friends. So it's very likely Roka and Scott Mans can be in the same league, same faction together. I wouldn't be surprised if this happened, but I believe this will only happen if Inman joins the faction. Why? They're part of Team Track. It's gonna be very weird if Inman's part of the faction and Scott Mans is not. And also it's gonna be very weird if Scott Mans is in it and Inman is not. That's gonna be even more weird because Inman actually have the belt, Inman belt. So yeah, if Inman is part of it, then Scott Mans will be part of it. So yeah, before I go on to my predictions, I am going to read some of your comment sections on Facebook. I'm going to see the results of the poll and the comments, so let's go check on it right now. So this is the results of the poll. Right now, leading massively with over 300 votes, it is Mike Kalinowski. And then with over 130 votes, we have Jason Inman in second place. And then with over 84 votes, honestly, is Brianne Chandler, and then we have Ethan Irwin, Dale the Dude, and Scott Mans in that particular order. And now I'll be reading some of your comments right in here. By Joshua M. Wagner, unless the Horsemen are planning to turn heel, I doubt KO and Brianne are joining. That is what I've been saying. It's very interesting, but I think Brianne is now a face. So I still don't know if that's possible, but like I said, it will be very interesting if we see the first time ever both a face and a heel in the same faction. That could be very interesting. One of them is definitely going to lose out. Maybe they change sides, maybe KO go back to face. I have no idea, but the cryptic tweets really is strong in this one, and I feel like that's still a possibility. A good friend, Subrat Sharma, commented KO and BC, Kalinowski and Brian Chandler. KO will be singles champ, BC will get Inner Geekdom, Roka and Nose will get teams, Dale will get Star Wars. I think that's a joke comment. I don't think Brienne will go Inner Geekdom. I don't think Dale will go Star Wars, but yeah. Jason Bush say, I would like to see KO on his own. Interesting, yeah, that might happen. Ben Brashula says, I think they should change the name from something more wrestling related than the Four Horsemen to something more related like the Regulators from Young Guns. This also doesn't limit their membership size. This is a very interesting comment. This is one of the reasons I've been referring to them as the Horsemen this whole time and not the Four Horsemen. Because I feel like it's possible that they have more than four. Jeremiah Furtes say, I would have said Inman a while back, but now it's a toss-up. I feel like KO will match with Inman considering he'd be in a contention for Inner Kingdom Championship. And after Roka said it, might not be Horsemen, in quotation. I'm thinking it could be KO and Brienne. Honestly, I like Brienne running on her own though, but if she becomes their manager, that'd be awesome too. She'd be great in that role. Now, I did not think of that. If Brienne is the manager, joining the Horsemen, and she becomes the manager, that will be, I think that's going to be a better choice, because I honestly don't know if Brienne's going to be competing again. I know she have that contention, the championship match, basically, due to the free-for-all win. So yeah, if they join the faction, Brienne could give it again to KO, or maybe to Top 10 or to Roka. So yeah, that's very, very interesting, because until this point, we still don't know what Brienne's going to be using it for. Maybe for herself, maybe for someone else, who knows. Justin Clawwater, Inman would be saying, Inman would be interesting, sorry. Not to mention giving the faction a belt and a solid Inner Kingdom competitor. My guts say it's KO and Brienne though. Yeah, Inman is the better choice in my opinion, but once again, KO and Brienne is most likely. Emmanuel Steinberg say, I shall die on the hill of Gaia and Bateman. Definitely joke. We know Action Army is never joining with the Horsemen at all. Nikkei say, please, Ethan, don't join the Horsemen. You're better than that. That is the first comment on Ethan Irwin. I haven't honestly said anything much about Ethan Irwin because it's, like I said, a wild card. But yeah, maybe Ethan make his own team. Who knows? Sheen Massler says, I hope it's not Mike. That will be a waste of a great heel turn. That will be like Cena turning and joining the Ascension. Okay, I am not familiar with WWE. First of all, I'm not familiar with wrestling, so I don't understand the reference. But yeah, it's a huge heel turn, and like I said, if he joined the Horsemen, it's very much like they have to give up one or the other. They cannot be both a heel and a face in the same faction. Some of them have to turn heel or face. So yeah. Last comment here by Noah Stock say, I know it's Kalinowski, but I want it to be Jason Inman. Alright, so that's a lot of comments. One thing that I would like to point out that I really like, based on those, Brienne being their manager, very, very interesting. Because she is a good competitor on her own, and she proves it in the free-for-all. She's a fantastic competitor. She have that championship match for any belt, honestly. But we don't know her status, if she's going to come back or not. We haven't seen her play since Ultimate Schmoedown. She did play free-for-all, but aside from that, we haven't known. But yeah, and with that, I'm going to give my final prediction for this one. So my prediction, who is most likely to join the Horsemen? Number 1, Mike Kalinowski. I still think this is the most likely to happen. This could be very interesting, especially the cryptic tweet is really swaying me to that point. And yeah, with Mike Kalinowski, we definitely need Brienne Chandler. And like one of the comments says, Brienne being a manager would be very, very interesting. And yeah, we got 4 people in the faction. We have the 4 Horsemen. That's good, right? Well, I did say the Horsemen. So there's gonna be one more person who I think belongs in this list. And that is Dale the Dude Gibbs, everybody. That's a horrible impression, I'm sorry, Dale. But Dale the Dude, he's been super supportive of them. It will be very sad if they don't recognize him or add him to the faction. It's gonna be very odd. He's a good competitor on his own. He proves to be able to stand up to Ben Bateman. So he should definitely join the faction. So imagine that. Roka, Nose, Brienne, KO, and Dale. Most of them are face except for Kalinowski. So that's going to be interesting. Once again, who knows? I'm wearing a different t-shirt. You know why? Because I just watched the Stacey Howard vs. Josh McCouga match, and you saw the opening scene. That legit changed my mind directly. So no more Brienne, no more Kalinowski in the Horsemen. Right now, the new Horsemen. Roka, Nost, Dale the Dude, Inman, and movie release dates, Scott Mans. Those are your new Horsemen. Be feared. Because that new Horseman, the 5 Horsemen, that's a good team right there. And it will be interesting to see Scott and John Rowe kind of same team. And yeah, I changed my mind because Mike is gonna go on his own path. Mike's gonna go on his own path. I think Mike is gonna be like what all the belts have predicted in their podcast. So yeah, guys. Wow. Back to the original clip. Those are my predictions for the Horsemen. I want to hear in the comment section below. I know you guys have commented on Facebook and on the post, but I want to hear in the comment section below who you guys think will be part of the Horsemen or 4 Horsemen. Could it be anyone from this list that I mentioned, or could it be someone else? Maybe Bibiani comes back. We know Groundling Commandos are dead. Maybe Burnett comes back. I don't know. Maybe Lon, he have his school, but I don't know if Lon's gonna be open to suggestion. Maybe Riley comes back and join the faction. Maybe Dan Murrell comes back. I have no idea. I want to hear in the comment section below what you guys think. Who will be part of the Horsemen? Yeah, guys, I want to hear it. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see the channel grow, all you have to do is click the like button below. I make some of this content stuff related sometimes whenever I have a content that I could think about. If you have any suggestion what kind of content I should make, a prediction video, something like that, tell me in the comment section below also as well. I also make Schmoedown reaction. You probably know me best from that. Yeah, check it out. I'm going to make reaction pretty soon to all the other matches. Until next time, guys. Ciao out. Pew, pew.